Alright, let's do our first actual application of TVM Solver. When you save money for a future need, you're not like the previous lesson's example. What did she do? She put 23,000 in there and just left it. We're not like that. We're not rich people, okay? It's only old people that's going to be able to do that. So what tends to be the case is we do an annuity where we start off with nothing and then we put little chunks in. So what's the little chunks? That's the PMT in your TVM Solver. So when you have a situation where you're making regular payments and you grow it with compound interest to reach a certain amount, it's called a future value annuity. So what's a future value annuity that starts with nothing? What's the maths behind that? Well, if you're starting with nothing, what's PV going to be? 0. If you're making payments into the bank, PMT is going to be negative. And then if it grows to a certain amount, FV is going to be positive. So can you get that down, please? A future value annuity that starts with nothing is going to have those variables. PV is nothing, PMT is negative, FV is positive. I'm going to do an example in a minute or so. Just a reminder here to use that interest of an investment formula that's not in your book. I had to devise that myself. Like, someone remind me, how do I access TVM Solver? What do I press? I just forgot. Yeah? Apps? TVM Solver. If you're OCD like me, you don't like stepping on cracks on the pavement and you want to start off fresh, it's 0. The default is 0 everything except the bottom 2. You don't need to start from default, but sometimes you like to start fresh, start clean. So starting off fresh. Lewis deposits. No one cares that it's Lewis, but we care that they deposit $600 each year into an account. Does it say he's starting off with anything in the beginning? No. He's just putting $600 each year. So PMT, positive 600 or negative 600?
Negative.
Why?
Because the money is going
from him to the bank. FV is what I'm solving for. It's compounding annually, so PY and CY will both be 1. Find the value of the account after 15 years, so I can go back. What's the interest rate? 6. 15 years, 15. No, not 19. 15 times by 1 is going to be 15. I've put everything here I want to know. So FV, alpha, enter. If he does that, if he puts $600 in each year for 15 years, what's he going to end up with? $13,965.58. Why does it grow a little bit? Because of interest. So show the working out. This is how to show the working out. Demoing it. N is equal to 15. I 6 PV. Started off with nothing. PMT negative 600. Stars next to FV. 13965.58 to 2 decimal points. PY CY is 1. So $13,965.58. Not 14, 13. After 15 years. Now you're going to see why we do this formula. So the student I was talking to over there, you see why this is applicable. Interest is more complicated here because it wasn't just a giant chunk of money that she left and it grew. She ended up, it's 2025, whatever. You can, Lewis, who cares? $13,965.58. That's what it grew to. Did he start off with anything in the bank?
No.
So PV is going to be nothing. Did he make regular payments?
Yes, he did.
PMT 600 times by how many payments of $600 did he put in?
Half of 30.
Which is 15. Yeah, it's on there. So why does it keep doing that? Can I turn that off? That Siri just working out the answer. Okay, we'll sort it out after. That's crazy. I don't want you to find the answer straight away. 13, it's not clever, it's not useful. 13,965.58 minus, in brackets, 0 plus $600 payments 15 times. So $13,965.58 sounds like a lot. But you have to remember that you put in 15 payments of $600. So it's the bank only gave you $4,965.58 in interest by the end of it. Okay? So in purple, that's the example of an annuity starting with nothing. Can you get that down, please, in the next few minutes? And then I'll do one that starts off with something, and then we're done for today. So keep it down, it's recording. Let's scroll down so you can see the blue for starting with an initial investment. All right, last example. If I have an annuity that starts with an initial amount, what's the only difference? PV is going to be a negative number because I'm starting with something in the bank and I'm also paying regularly. So PV is going to be negative, PMT is going to be negative, FV is going to be positive. If you have an annuity that starts with something, Kanye's back. I thought I'd removed that. Kanye made an initial investment of $5,000 into a savings account, and then he continually deposited $250 at the end of each month. The account pays 8% interest compounding monthly. So go through, it doesn't matter that it's Kanye, but it does matter that he put $5,000 in. What does PV stand for? The present value. What sign would that 5,000 be? If he's putting it in the bank, what sign's going to be? Negative $5,000. How much is he putting in monthly? What sign would that be for PMT? Negative, because he's putting money from his pocket into the bank. Find the account balance after 10 years. I'm finding FV. How often is it compounding? 12 monthly. Does it say he's paying monthly as well? With regular deposits of $250 at the end of each month. So PY and CY would be 12. Okay? That is a safe decision that they should be the same. In real life, if it said he was paying $250 a week, PY could be 52. But then the bank could compound monthly. Okay? So now I can go back to the rate, 8% interest rate. Monthly, so 12 times by, after 10 years, 10, 120. So that's my working out. Alpha, enter, find the account balance after 10 years. Kanye is going to be loaded. N180, I 8%, PV negative $5,000, PMT negative 250, negative 250. Star next to FV, sorry. 56, 834, 71 to 2 decimal points in the account. PY and CY are both 12. Yeah, question?
Is it N 120?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, sorry. You're right. I didn't type it. We did calculate it, right? I just spat out 120 there. Yeah. All right, and then the interest. Interest on an investment. What did Kanye's money grow to? $56,834.71. But he started off with a certain amount of money in the bank, $5,000, and he paid $250. How many times over the course of this thing? 120 times. It still worked it out automatically. Hopefully that's right. Let me check. 56,834.71 minus $5,000 plus 250 times by 120. Yeah, it's completely wrong. Apple Intelligence is garbage. $21,834.71 in interest. Yeah, I'll have to turn that off because it keeps answering and it gets it wrong anyway. It said 20 grand for some reason. So that scenario, Kanye invested $5,000, paid $250 each month. The account would grow to $56,834.71. That's how much interest he would pay. Okay? So I'll stop the recording here. Can you please, for homework now, you're getting familiar with TVM Solver. Can you work to the end of 7C.2, please?